Do you often feel that you're the only one going crazy thinking about her? Her sparkly smile and twinkly eyes have got you in ropes? You wonder to yourself, is there any way I can make her think about me all the time? Well, to your surprise, there is. In fact, there are effective ways to make the impossible possible. From paying attention to her to being opinionated, these secrets are the answer to your lifelong struggle. Number 10. Pay attention. Do you know why most relationships fail over time? In most cases, it's because one of the partners doesn't feel heard and understood. They think their voice gets overshadowed by the other. And most of the time, it's the woman. Have you ever heard a woman complain about a man? It's the same thing over and over. He just doesn't get me. Well, there's a reason for that. More than half of the men are so knee-deep in their cauldron of self-absorption that they forget to make any effort to pay attention to their woman, even though all you need to do to make her crazy about you is communicate. When we say communicate, we don't necessarily mean delivering a 10-minute TED Talk after every few hours. You need to keep your mysterious aura intact, and the best way to do that is to ask questions about her and show genuine interest in what she's telling you. Trust us, when you do that every time you meet her, there won't be a single moment from then on where she won't have you on her mind. Number 9. Build anticipation. The thrill of the chase is real, and you need to fuel that thrill till the last moment. That's what makes the art of courting so exciting for women. There's uncertainty, mystery, and a whole load of adrenaline. If you spew your feelings too fast into the dating phase, you will kill all the buzz. You have to avoid that if you don't want to get rejected, or worse, friend-zoned. Make the woman dance around a bit. Hold back, throw in some subtle hints, but keep your declaration of undying love whole. You have to build anticipation so that whenever she's not with you, she's still thinking, fantasizing, and wondering about you. Number 8. Be spontaneous. If you want to keep your woman on her toes, make spontaneity your best friend. You've just started dating someone and things are going great. However, it's easy to fall into the inevitable trap of routine. Suddenly, you both find yourself doing the same things, talking about the same stuff, and everything becomes boring. When that happens, you can kick all your sparks goodbye. That's why you need to add a magic ingredient to your approach: unpredictability. This is the best way to keep her thinking about you and what's going to come next. The important bit is to introduce this ingredient in your interactions from the very start. The element of mystery keeps her guessing, and it gives her something to think about all the time. So the next time you're planning a date or sending a message, throw in a curveball. That'll get the ball rolling. Number 7. Give her space. We've all experienced those moments when we were head over heels for someone, and we couldn't stop thinking about them. It's a universal experience. However, this doesn't mean you suffocate them with your ubiquitous presence. Being apart from someone amplifies your feelings for them. When you give her space, you're filling her up with excitement for the next time you both will meet. On the flip side, if you constantly suffocate her with your presence, for instance, text her every 5 minutes or shower her with compliments all the time, she'll not think of you as often. Why? Because you're not giving her a chance to do so. Don't forget, scarcity tends to breed value, and we all romanticize what's not always within our grasp. Space is a healthy and effective phenomenon. Use it to your advantage. Number 6. Have a happening life. It's no secret that men shoulder the responsibility of providing for both themselves and their partners. It's the masculine prerogative. You need to live a life so interesting and successful that it becomes a magnet for the right partner. Women are not just curious about what you have, they're intrigued by who you are and what kind of life you're building. Make a list of 100 things you want to do or become. Go after those goals with determination and passion. The result? You'll live a life that's so involved for you that you won't even have to attract a woman. They'll come after you themselves. They'll wonder about you and find you so fascinating, it'll be inspirational. Number 5. Learn the art of complimenting. One thing women have in excess compared to men is the number of compliments they receive. Your run-of-the-mill approach to complimenting her eyes and hair isn't going to do any good. In fact, doing so will lead you to find yourself overlooked, or worse, relegated to the dreaded friend zone. Why? Because women aren't looking to be bamboozled into interest through a barrage of unearned compliments. It doesn't come off as sincere or romantic, and frankly, it doesn't hold that much sway. Your compliment needs to come from the heart. It needs to sound sincere and genuine, meaning it has to be detached from any need for self-validation. So when you do decide to compliment her, make sure it's not surface level. It comes from observation and has a tinge of truth to it. You'll stand out from the crowd of men, and you'll be the one she remembers. Number 4. Change up your communication methods. We've already talked about how predictability is boring, but the real question is, how do you avoid being predictable in the digital world? Easy solution. And trust us, this is a secret only a few men know. Now, if you want her thinking about you non-stop, it's time to inject some variety into your conversations. You need to break the pattern she's getting used to. For example, if you both constantly text, it's time you send her a voice note. Or you can always send a good meme to keep that smile plastered on her face. The trick is, you need to keep on switching it up. Whenever you think it's getting the same old, surprise her with something new. This way, she'll always be intrigued by what you're going to do next. Will it be a video call? Will it be a voicemail? She won't be able to guess. Variety is the spice of life and the best tool to use to keep her hooked on you. Number 3. Be trustworthy. Regrettably, many individuals, particularly women, have had their fair share of experiences with deception and infidelity. Once you've been on the receiving end of lies or betrayal from someone you genuinely cared about, the value of trustworthy behavior skyrockets. What do you need to do? You need to prove to her that you're trustworthy enough for her to open up to you. This is quite simpler than most people think it is. If you're a high-value man, you'll never break your word. You'll always be consistent in your manners and never utter a word that you don't mean. That's all you need to do. All the other tricks and secrets also work based on this one factor: trust. If she trusts you enough, you can disappear for a few days and come back and she still won't doubt you. She'll wonder about you. She'll miss you, but she'll never spiral into a mess thinking you're out there cheating on her. Do you see the power of trust? It's amazing and hands down the best approach to keep her thinking about you. Number 2. Build boundaries. Respect is the cornerstone of any relationship. It's not a side bonus. It's an absolute must-have. Having self-respect leads you to creating certain boundaries that must never be crossed. It doesn't matter if it's the love of your life or your boss. Your boundaries should be rock solid for everyone. Now, this is a game changer because most men fail to create a set of values for themselves, and in turn, they don't respect anyone else as well. Women despise such men, and they encounter a lot of them. By showing her how much you respect yourself and her, you'll find her being careful around you and taking into consideration things that set you off. She'll respect you, and she'll step up her game to please you. And one thing's for sure, when you dare to set those boundaries and stick to them, she'll definitely be thinking about you. It's a clear signal that you value yourself and the relationship enough to ensure it's built on a foundation of mutual respect. Number 1. Be opinionated. Before we get to this spicy secret, answer this question: are you a leader or are you a follower? If you're a follower, then you need to rethink your approach to life. High-value men don't follow, they forge their path. And a part of doing that is to make sure they never stand down on things they believe are right, even if it's to impress someone else. They're not scared of having differing opinions because they know it opens the door to healthy discourse. By discourse, we don't mean arguments. There's a world of difference between arguments and discourse. The former often stems from a desire to prove oneself right, while the latter thrives on a desire to engage and learn. Women love this kind of intellectual stimulation. Men mostly avoid indulging because they're afraid they won't receive the validation they require, so they readily agree with whatever a woman says. That's unattractive and dull. For her to think about the conversation you both had, you need to stimulate her brain, make her question things, and entertain different perspectives. If that's not a surefire way to be on her mind all the time, we don't know what is. Found this video helpful? Drop down a comment below and hit that like button for more.